Well, our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solhekol, has joined Mark Schwarzer, Ash Williams and myself on the sofa. Kaveh, go on then. This is a big one. A lot of Chelsea fans waiting with bated breath. These links, Cole Palmer to Man United, where have they come from? What do they mean, Kaveh?
I think that people are putting two and two together and coming up with five. He's had a difficult season. He's had lots of injury problems. I think there have been some issues behind the scenes about how his injury problems have been managed. Sometimes he hasn't looked particularly happy when he's been playing for Chelsea, and when he's been scoring, he hasn't been celebrating in the sort of way that he used to. But I think that is just down to his injury issues. But that has led to reports that he's not happy in London, he misses life in the Northwest, he grew up being a Manchester United fan. Of course, he spent a lot of time at the City Academy. So I think that's where these stories come from. I think it's likely that one day he'll play for Manchester United. But I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
I was going to say, because what's Chelsea's stance on this from hearing the rumours?
I mean, if you speak to people at Chelsea, they just laugh it off. They just like, you know, this is not serious. This is like gossip. This is social media hysteria. Look, when they signed him, just over 2 years ago from City, he signed a 7-year contract with an option of another year. He did so well in his first season that he was given a 2-year contract extension. So he's got a contract at Chelsea until 2033. So Chelsea are pretty relaxed about it. You know, he's 22 now. He's going to be, I think, almost 30 by the time his Chelsea contract runs out. So I think it's fair to say that, look, one day he would like to play for Chelsea. When I look at him, he's not... Sorry, one day play for Manchester United.
Of course.
When I look at him, he doesn't come across as, you know, somebody like John Terry, who's going to spend the whole of his career at Chelsea. He's not like Chelsea born and bred. But he's very happy at Chelsea at the moment. Anyone you speak to at Chelsea will tell you that. But like a lot of players, you know, some players think, I'd love to play for Real Madrid one day. I'm sure in private moments, if you were to speak to him, he would say, one day in the future, it'd be nice to play for United.
Well, that's it, because, I mean, obviously you mentioned the contract there. Ridiculous, so long, right? It was 9 years, basically. You add on to the 7. Is that now, though, is that so much of a thing? Because we're kind of looking at it now, it's like player power is proving everything.
I mean, but player power, he's got no power. I mean, what kind of power does he have? Look at it from Manchester United's point of view. They don't have the money to sign a player like Cole Palmer. I don't think they need to sign him.
They've always got the money. They get the money from somewhere.
You're talking about 150, 200 million pounds to sign him. They would want him. They've got Bruno Fernandes at the moment. Who knows what happens when Bruno Fernandes retires or leaves. I just think people are getting a little bit carried away, just down to the fact that he's been a little bit unhappy because of his injury issues and the fact that it's common knowledge that he is a Manchester United fan. But just because you're a Manchester United fan doesn't mean you're going to end up playing for them, no matter how good you are.
Ash, what do you reckon?
No, I said the same thing in the week. I had a feeling that this started as a rumour, probably in the Northwest somewhere, and just snowballed into what it is. I can't see it in a million years now happening at all. Why would Chelsea do that? I don't think Manchester United can afford him. I just think that probably it started, and like you said, he's a Manchester United fan. People have assumed that he's not happy because he doesn't look very happy at the minute, which could be down to anything. And where does he go? Right, he goes to Manchester United. I can't see it happening.
I was just going to throw one thing out there, right? When I look at it, I look at Manchester United and I look at Chelsea, right? And I look at Chelsea and I think business. I look at Man United and I look at Ineos. If there is an asset that is wanted by one business or the other, surely there is a conversation to be had there in some way. Do you know what I mean, Mark?
I think it all comes down to Cole Palmer himself, really. And if he is that unhappy, you never know with him because he kind of always looks unhappy. I don't know. Like, I don't really.
He's got that swagger.
He's got something about him. Yeah, he sees interviews, everything else. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, he's a phenomenal player, and he's had an incredible early start to his career at Chelsea. The contract is the contract that keeps his value high. So I think you're right. I think the transactional element of it. Look, if Bruno Fernandes goes to Saudi Arabia for 100+ million, there's already a good part of that, is there for Manchester United to potentially look at someone like him if he were interested and up for it. But that's all speculation. I mean, I think Chelsea at this stage would be mad to try and to sell him. They certainly won't be looking to, but if the player comes knocking on the door saying, I'm desperately unhappy and I want to go, what do you do as a club? It's really hard.
Yeah. Kaveh, there is one player that we want to know about. Chelsea looking at Jeremy Jac. What can you tell us about that situation?
I think Chelsea are the kind of club now who actually like deadline day. They like being part of the sort of show business and the drama.
It's exciting. That's why we love you.
Some clubs don't like it at all, but I think Chelsea like being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if they have something up their sleeves for Monday. Certainly they're trying to sign Jeremy Jac from Rennes. He's supposed to be the next big thing when it comes to young French defenders. They're going to try and do the deal to get him now. Obviously, Rennes don't want to lose him until the summer. I think the summer, Liverpool would like to take him. Bayern Munich would like to take him as well. I think it's interesting that Chelsea recalled Anselmino from his loan at Dortmund.
Yeah.
Because that gives them the option of maybe sending him
the other way
on loan to Rennes, because Rennes really don't want to sell him at all. But I think it's really significant that Liam Rosenior really wants Jac. I think obviously he's managed in France when he came up against Rennes. Jacquet's always played really, really well against Strasbourg, and I think Liam Rosenior's remembered that.